Last time we met, Rag asked that I would do a video showing the process and the tools I'm using over in Unreal Engine for editing. So I'll show what I do to get a close over here. And I went in here. This is my poser, and you can see I got a lot of clothes, and a lot of times I will, you can. It's got a pretty good filter that if you want to, if you want to find something, you can just say, I want a dress. You can say, I want to go get a dress, and under figures, and it'll bring back, the various dresses. So I'm going to go ahead and use this one. I looked at it earlier. It looked like it's going to something that I don't have anything like that. So I'll bring it in. It even doesn't even fit Victoria all that well. But so there, I've got the dress in here. So I'm going to go ahead and take this Victoria dress for a Victoria 4 from Daz. So it's 15 years, 20 years old by now. I want to export it as an FBX. I just want single frame. And then what do you want to export? I don't want to export the camera. I don't want to export Victoria 4. I just want the dress. So I say, okay. And I say, I want change the triangles. I include the normals. I don't include rigging. I don't care about exporting every frame as a keyframe. I bake the morphs. I bake the diffuse colors into textures. I don't invert the transparency map. I don't put it into a texture atlas. I set this just, even though I really don't need it in Unreal Engine, just for efficiency's sake, I make them um, this, I set the power of 2 on texture size. And embedded media, I don't have any, so I go ahead and say, okay. And then I have to name it something. And as you can see, I've done this before, and I would click save, and it would save these 3 files. So uh, now, now that they're saved, I will go over here, and I need to bring them in. And so I will create a new folder. I put this under in the plugins underneath the poser folder I set up, and I call it Menton. That's the dress name. I put it in here. I am going to import, so I just hit import here, right? And I could say from the downloads file, go ahead and bring in this stuff. Wait, I'm sorry, open it. Boom, and it says, how do you want to bring it in? It's a static mesh, and I set it to static mesh. Just, I don't even know if I need to do that anymore. And it brought in the static mesh. It brought in 3 materials that get their data from a texture. Alrighty, so I go over now. I've got a special room for this, so I will go into my maps and go to the tailor shop, and it's going to bring me in something that's easier to fit on. And I have a pink body, so I can go see the poke throughs easier. Probably with this dress, I will see the poke throughs because there will be a lot of them. So you go ahead and there's a dress, but I will go put it in here. And then what you do is the character's at 0, 0, 0, 0. So I just put it at the same thing and say, oh, it doesn't fit at all. Well, that's because it's a poser dress made for a Victoria for 15 years, 20 years before metahumans were around. So the first thing you want to do is you want to basically fit this as best you can using tools. And tools you use are the modeling tools. And here's where you had a lot of the, wanted to see how some of the stuff were done. Here's what I do. Here's my workflow. I go into Xform, and the first thing I want to do is adjust the pivot to get it basically in the right position on the body, X, Y, and Z. So I say edit pivot, click on edit pivot, and then I move it where I want it on the body. And I like using slider switches. I mean, other people like dragging the gizmo. And I try to put it, in a reasonable spot. Let's say there. And I try to basically I use the waist on something like a dress as a center point. So I put the center point where I want because um, I want it right around where the hips really started. So I say I want to use world origin. So basically, wherever it's at, click. You say I want to use world origin, and then you say accept. And why do I do that? I'm going to now, and you see it's this has been changed, so you save it. So the reason you do that is so when I stick this in here again and say go to 0, 0, 0, it'll at least put it relative, in the same position that you left it at. And that's because I adjusted its pivot point. Now I go transform next usually, and I try to get as close as I can get to start with scale. So I can see I want to make them shorter because I've noticed Victoria 4 is taller and skinnier than the Metahumans. So I want to get this pretty close, and I try to get the shoulders down right. It's going to be, let's try 0.9. Once you got it down here, I can do this. Oops, I'm sorry, I can't. I got to do it with the dang. Edit undo. All right, let's try it again. And I've got these, the transforms, see, I don't even remember how to do this. The grid settings, 5%. And this is what, I can't get it. I've got it down to the lowest I can, which is unfortunate. Well, that's too low. Let's just say it's 9.6. I wish I could. I don't think I can do like 9.5 over here, can I? Now, see it. Wait. Let's try this. 0.96. What, 375? I don't remember. Let's set these back to 1. Let's unhook this and see if that'll do it. Let's see if I can make this 0.95. This is probably too much. Yeah, I want to get it on the shoulders. So I know this is the fiddly stuff like everything is. When it comes to 3D modeling, making things fit. And I can see right now the problem is it's too far back. Yeah, see how far back it is. So I need to move him up. That's a transform too, right? So that should be done though. I'll go ahead and say complete the transform at this, but it's too small, so I need to go back to edit pivot, and I need to move him forward a bit. Get the straps where they belong. Oh, one. Yeah, that's close. Think so? Yeah, that's good enough. So it's at 2, or it's at 3. Let's say 2.5. And accept that. I'm going to say world origin, accept. Alrighty, accept. So now I've got that here. And let's just double check that. Let's save that and double check that it's been moved. So again, I'll go 0, 0, 0. Put it. And yeah, that's close. That's not even close. Oh, I didn't bake the transforms. So way to be. I need to go to the transforms. And what did I do? I transform scale. So let's transform scale. Get it close. And let's say 0.95, right? That's 0.96, I guess. 96. And we decided that was good enough. Now here's what you have to do. You can say complete the transform to start with, boom. Then you got to bake it. accept it. Now let's see if that worked. I'm going to go do the same thing. Looks like it did, but drag it in. Go 0, 0, 0. Yep, it's close enough. Now I got traditional poke throughs. Now I could handle this obviously with masks, which I've got the great masking system, or I could fix it here. Now I could have scaled the problem is here anyway, let's just go ahead and fix it with mesh tools now. So let's go to deform tools. Let's go to vertex sculpture. Let's use a brush here. Let's use the inflate. Works pretty well for me. And here it is. So now I'm here. Set up to 0.25. This is going to be too strong. So I'm going to I want it pretty big to start with, but this is way too much. I don't want it to. So we'll make it like this to see as a starting point. Oops. There you go. And this is the typical, there's better ways to do this sometimes than others. And let's move him around here. Let's just get it right there. Yeah, there you go. And, and so this is the fiddly part of like all 3D sculpting type tools. Take forever and never give you exactly what you want. But, so boom, boom. There you go. So that's what it got. So it's got so I'm going to say accept and see if I see anything. This is usually this pink is really works well for me. It's got wider hips, I've noticed, which is a pain in the butt, but there you go. So there you go. So it looks pretty ready. So I will save that again. And now I'll turn it into something I can use in my system. I have to convert it to a skeletal mesh. I got to use Ada because this is Ada, but Ada is a female medium weight, medium height. I'll go ahead and edit the skeleton. Edit. Look at me crash. Don't crash. You're gonna crash. And there you go. Oh, nope. It just wanted to do too much for me. There you go. I want to edit the weights. Again, I'm going to transfer the weights from Ada, since that's what we're using here. It's this body, because I've done it so many times, I know. Transfer the weights. The skin's weights are been transferred. I apply it. I save it, and I've got a skeletal mesh I can use in my game. Let me show you how to do that. I get in here and say, open the table, and I'm going to add an item. This is my wardrobe table, and this is the 67th piece of clothing I've added. And it's a dress, and I'll call it the Menton, because that's what it is. It's for a female. I add this. It's going to be for, what did I say, a female medium. And I need to get the skeletal mesh I just got. Boom. Boom. And materials are interesting. This has got 3 materials off one texture, but it's just the way they do a lot of poser stuff. The belt was a separate mesh, and the buckle was a separate mesh, and the dress was a separate mesh. So they made 3 material instances, which the Metahuman stuff usually has 1 material. So I can't use it normally. So I set up a special kind of material on Poser called the custom material. And if I just stick it in there, it says, hey, it's got multiple custom it's got multiple materials on the dress. So what it says is don't override it with a material from Poser. It says use whatever came over on the mesh. That's what this does. Then I set this to Poser and I'm done. I just set it to Poser there as metadata. That's not really part of the thing. So I saved it. Now I go into a different map. We'll see if this works. I probably should save this version. I go into the wardrobe room, and if I say dress, hopefully I'll see mint in here. Oh, I do. Good. So we'll just go clear the dress first. Then I'll put in mint. Oh, it didn't. Looks frumpy and icky and huh. Well, yeah, so I must have put it on the wrong skeleton because this is a this may not be the actual Ada skeleton. Should I see if I got a different one here? Let's go change the skeleton. Danielle, maybe? Oh, Danielle's skinny. Hadley? Hadley's right. Dress mentioned. Nope, it's still too big. So did I not bake the transform? Maybe. Anyway, you get the idea. Looks bad. Good job, Mike. Looks bad. Should probably smooth these back things as I inflated them because you can see that looks like crap. Huh. Well, so I mean, I could go over here and say I don't like this. You look good on this one. Well, this is right Ada, so this may not be here. This is. Let's see what body this is. Ada. That looks frumpy on this one too. So let's looks it's horrible. Why does it look so bad? Let's do this. Let's smooth it. That smoothing, I'm going to accept that smooth, and I'm just going to fix this poke through. That's just the quick smoothing one. I'm going to do vertex again. Make it way smaller. And just fix this little poke through. Alrighty. Huh. Usually if it's on one side, it's on the other. No, it's not on this one. So I'm going to accept that. Does that still look frumpy? It still looks kind of frumpy. I wonder why. There's other tools here. Let's try the lattice one if I want to. I can see. lattice? I suppose I could. Select, oh yeah, select that. Move him back in, maybe? Yeah, let's move him back in. Let's take him and move back in so it doesn't look quite as. So, again, it's just how much do you want to make this look better? I would like to smooth this belt here. It looks like crap. But who knows? It might not be all that good to. No, I don't want to smooth it more than enough smoothing. I can smooth back at this level. Let's make sure the transforms are baked. Deform, vertex sculpt. I can say smooth here. Oop. Edit undo. Nope. Edit undo. I can way less powerful. There you go. Looks like that. Yeah, we'll say that's good enough. There you go. So junk. Gotta do.